Adam Noble-Forcey here for Seconds Out. I'm with the Head of Development at Sky Sports, Adam Smith. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Yeah, excited about Saturday night, end of a very busy month for us, and in some ways maybe saving the best till last, or certainly with Josh Taylor's treasure in the super lightweight division. It's a fantastic achievement from Josh. Gets a chance to come back in front of his home crowd, and Jack Catterall has the opportunity he's been waiting for a long time.
Brilliant. Let's talk a little bit about last weekend. Kell Brook, Amir Khan. I know you've been talking about it a lot. How did you feel that show went?
Oh, I'm really pleased with it. I mean, we've waited so long for it. I think through many years, negotiations, attempts. Frank, Eddie, everybody sort of tried to put it on, and yeah, maybe it should have happened 5-6 years ago. But look, it happened now. Ben did a great job of knitting it all together. It was a very difficult fight to make, and ultimately I love great stories, and it had a narrative that sort of flooded through. And I think in the end, both of them went off abroad into training camps. They looked fantastic on the scales, and bar a couple of unsavoury wrong comments on Thursday at the press conference, it was a picture-perfect week, really. And I think the event itself, the atmosphere was fantastic in the Manchester Arena, special place. And, some stories going on right up till almost the first bell with the gloves. And then, Kell rolled back the years and produced a terrific performance. And Amir was so brave and fantastically courageous and went out on his shield. And then the two of them hugging backstage in the press conference afterwards. I just thought it was a really endearing and wonderful moment to be involved in with British boxing. And we closed a story which had kept everybody on the edge of their seats for a long time. And, very pleased with the teams, both Boxer and Sky, who worked so hard together on everything. Great shoulder programming, great first event for Ben and his team to work with us, and I hope everyone thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. There was a little talk about I'm going to be a little bit negative, excuse me.
Right.
There was a little bit of talk about the undercard not being as strong as it could have been. Compared to this show, the undercard's very strong. Would you agree with that?
I think undercards are difficult because sometimes you look at something on paper and think it's going to be an absolute, 4 or 5 classics, and sometimes you look at it and think it's not going to be great, and styles make fights and things change. Look, I take the criticism. I think that the card wasn't the best we put on, definitively on Saturday in Manchester. We've had better undercards before, but first and foremost it was about the main event. I think these main events that we're putting on in February, from Eubank Williams to last weekend to this weekend with Taylor and Catterall, they cost a lot of money. They're hugely huge money fights, big finances involved. Brook Khan especially, that was the Sky Box Office event, and to put 2 big fights like we're doing on Sky Sports is tough. So the undercard is, we'll always try and give the best value we can, but sometimes things change, and I think people have got to remember as well that we're in a new relationship with Boxer and with Top Rank. Over here in the UK, Ben Shalom and I are working really hard with the teams to build a stable, to go again in many ways. I mean, it's new for him. He's had an experience with the tournament shows, but this sort of stage and platform are very new to him. Eddie and I were used to it. We're used to the big shows and the big nights, and sometimes the undercards were fantastic and sometimes they weren't. And I think Eddie knows as well that the finances and the money that goes into putting on the main event, sometimes you don't have that for the undercard. Having said that, look, we got a really good English title fight in Cardiff. We thought we'd get a fantastic one on Saturday night last week with Schofield and Brown. It was okay, it wasn't great. Then Brad Ray, won very quickly in a fight that was probably going to go long. So sometimes these things happen. And Tasha went up 3 weight divisions, to fight for a world title, and she blew Nemus away. So ultimately things can happen on the night. But I take the criticism. I think that the main focus was on pretty much all the focus was on the Kell Brook showpiece, and I think the fact that we got it together and put it on and it was such a success, is what we wanted. But I'll take that on board, and Ben and I have talked about it, and we'll go back to the drawing board and make sure that we look at each and every fight night and we do the best we can with it. John Wischusen is working very closely with Ben, and he's a master of all of this and knows boxing better than anybody. So we're going to be working hard on getting better and better each way. But I think it is important to realise that this is the start, that we have only got a certain number of fighters, and obviously it's tough to always get them in the best competitive matches, and there's always going to be some people out there that will be disappointed. But I think
Especially now with social media, you can't.
Yeah, but I think the majority is that people were happy and they enjoyed the night. They enjoyed the fact we got Kell Brook together. It was a really engaging, fiery fight, even if it was one-sided. But what it had was, a great story in it, and it culminated in the two of them showing enormous respect at the end, which was great for boxing. So I'll take that, but I do take the criticism on board.
Yeah. Okay. Great. It did look amazing. I was sat in a hotel room in Hamburg, and I just wanted to get back to the UK straight away. It looked mad. It looked really good. I think overall you guys are doing a great job. And you were talking about building a stable. You've got, in my opinion, one of the best fighters on the planet in Josh Taylor. How important was it for you to get him on board with Sky Sports?
Very important. Obviously, Top Rank bring us Josh. It was a unique and different way we did these partnerships. So 4 years with Top Rank and 4 years with Boxer. And the fact that, as you see from the billboards behind us, they're working together on this. Just like Boxer worked with Wasserman on Chris Eubank. It's important for us to get the best fights we possibly can on Sky and the best fighters. And Josh Taylor, in my opinion, is a standout. I think he's absolutely incredible. What he's done is fantastic. One of the best fighters, not only that Scotland's ever produced, but what Britain's ever produced, and that also the world seems to have produced. And who knows what his limit is. His early 30s, he could go on and become a two-time weight champion. He could clean up at welterweight. He could maybe beat even the likes of Crawford and Spence. Well, he certainly fancy his chances against him, and they'd fancy their chances against him. But we want to see those mega fights in the future. He's got business to take care of here. I think it's a really important night for him to come back to Glasgow. He beat Ramirez in front of nobody. Now he's got thousands and thousands of partisan, passionate fans here at the Hydro. It's the fifth time he'll have fought here. This is where he won his Commonwealth gold medal. It's going to be a special night for him, but he's got a very dangerous opponent in front of him. Dangerous because he's quiet, and dangerous because he's not fancied. And Jack Catterall's a good fighter. He's with a very good trainer. He's done nothing wrong in his pro career so far. We don't know what his level or his reach is. If it's as good as Josh, then we were in for a real treat. But I think Josh is a pretty special fighter. Very glad to be working with him again. I've missed not having him on Sky more regularly. We've had little patches with him. I've had time with him, and I'm delighted to have him back. And I thank Todd DeBoer for making that happen. Yeah,
it's pretty crazy because his undisputed fight with Ramirez, that wasn't even on a UK TV channel, was it? I'm right in thinking?
It certainly wasn't with us, which was a difficult one. I ended up watching it overnight, and I texted Josh straight afterwards and said, look, please, can we have your next fight on Sky?
So you went on to the next question.
There's different contracts. There's different, we were with Matchroom. We had an exclusive deal with Matchroom. And then when Eddie went to DAZN and decided to move his stable, we had to go again. And we go again without our old friends at Matchroom and our stable that we had. We go again with a new stable. Some old friends. It's great working with Tasha Jonas and Savannah Marshall, but some new fighters who've had the chance now. You likes of Ebony Jones, Joe Pickford, Brad Ray, who was fantastic last weekend. Some really good new fighters, and we're building a really good mix of men and women, and they've all got a bit of a story behind them in different ways. Some are a bit more grassrootsy, some are a bit more sort of born to be a star, and I think it's a nice mix. Boxer are a great young company, and I'm really, really enjoying working with them. And I think everyone at Sky have got their mojo back again. I think we're flying now. We've had a really good February. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, but we're prepared for that work, and we're going to be in boxing for a long, long time, and we embrace the competition. DAZN have got huge amounts of fights going on. Frank just the record purse bid for Fury Whyte, and that's brilliant, and we'll be watching that. Wishing we could do the production, but that's BT's job, and we'll enjoy it. And it's a great fight to have on. We hope that we re-sign with AJ and get the Usyk fight announced, but we're working on that behind the scenes, and we're working on other things as well. So hopefully we'll have some good announcements soon. But it's a long road. It's a long journey. We're not rushing anything. But I think we've had a really good start, and I'm pleased with how the February's going.
Yeah, were there moments of doubt within the team? Because you've done a great job for British boxing. You've really pushed all that stuff going on with Matchroom and Sky, which really took boxing to the next level. I'd say you were quite instrumental in all of that. What were you feeling personally when DAZN came along and things like that?
It was a difficult time. I always like to be friendly to everybody. I always like to sort of get on and work with people. I really enjoy working with Joe Markowski and the DAZN team when we were sort of side by side for a while, sort of almost knowing they were going to be the competition. in the UK at some point, and and it was probably a long, painful divorce with Eddie and Frank. You know, we were very close. We spoke a lot. We were, you know, we had a great partnership. We had a great relationship. But these things change in business, and they made the decision to go. They made the decision to go another route and go on the streaming service, go on the Zone, and we wish them well. There's a huge amount of fights. They've got a great talent team. They're doing their own production, and they're doing a brilliant job. I'm enjoying watching it. Looking forward to the Conor Wood fight especially, and there's some good stuff going on. But we've got to concentrate on what's right for our Sky customers.
Of course,
you know, the key is that people thought, oh, could we survive without Eddie? Could we go again? What would happen? Well, I think we've answered that. You know, we've gone with the global powerhouse of Top Rank. We've gone with a young, new, different company in Boxer who are quickly beginning to make waves. And there's some very intelligent people in that company, and they're a really good bunch. But it's difficult. Personally, it was difficult. I really enjoy working with the Matchroom guys, and I thank a lot of them for sending me messages last week to wish us well with Khan and Brook.
Oh, that's nice.
And so did Joe Markowski, which I think was really appreciated.
Oh, so there's a nice relationship still going on. Look, a friendly relationship.
Of course, I adore Eddie and Frank. You know, they weren't just business partners; they're friends. And you know, and I work in the darts as well. I work with Matt Porter and the team, and you know, I think Barry Hearn's been an incredible promoter. No, I mean, absolutely not. There's no bad feelings on my side. It's business, and we've got a challenge, which is to keep this new relationship flourishing and building, and you know, brick by brick with Boxer. Top Rank already more established, and what they've done is they've given us some fantastic you know, American fights already.
Yeah, great to see that come on to Sky Sports actually as a customer. That stuff, I'm a bit of a night owl myself, so to see that, I think that was a great move from Sky Sports.
Yeah, exactly. Having Inoue and Michaela Mayer and Crawford, and it's been fantastic. And I think that's helped us as well while we build the relationship with Boxer. But I'm loving working with Ben. You know, Eddie's a character, and Eddie has incredible charisma and is a brilliant promoter. But Ben is, I tell you what, if I had to find another replacement, he's very different to Eddie, but someone I really love working with. I mean, I just have absolutely adored every minute of our relationship so far.
Okay, cool.
He's brilliant, and he's got a fantastic team, and you know, he's young, and he's sometimes I think he's like my younger brother, sometimes I think he's like my son, sometimes I think he's far too intelligent for me, but he's a very interesting guy, Ben, very nice guy, and he's got a great team. So I'm very lucky that we work with many promoters over the years, with Frank Warren, with Frank Maloney, with Mick Hennessy, with Ricky Hatton, obviously loads of relationships in the States with HBO and PBC and Showtime and so much. And Todd DeBurse always wanted to be on Sky with Top Rank. He's got his wish. Ben always wanted to be on Sky when he was sort of doing his bit, and obviously he's young to get the keys, but I think he's going to be dynamic. I think it's a very exciting future. He's alongside Savage Dan, who is terrific. They're great. They're great people, and I'm loving working with them. And I love the fact that we're building as much of a women's stable as a men's stable. I think that's really important. Our relationship with Clarissa Shields through Dimitri Salita, our relationship with Wasserman through Chris Eubank. You know, we're working with different promoters, and I think that's really encouraging and good for the business. And we'll be doing tournament shows again, and giving stuff back to the grassroots too. So as I keep saying to Ben, this is our time in the sunshine in February. It's not going to be like this every month. There's times where Sky have got football and other priorities, but boxing's a big part of what we do, and we're very happy with our start, and we'll work very, very hard to keep it going, and we'll just keep in our lane and keep progressing and watch the competition and enjoy that, and it's good for the fighters and good for the fans.
Definitely, Adam. One thing I wanted to talk about, I come from Southampton. You were talking about Joe Pigford, and you've got Ebony Jones on this card, who's from Portsmouth. Massive boxing fans in that part of the world. We haven't really got the facilities we do in Bournemouth. We've got an arena there. But have you got ideas of going to pastures new? Maybe
100%. We're actually looking at that for one of the tournament shows right now. Not the South Coast, but we're looking at different parts of the country. We want to bring boxing all around. Obviously, we've had shows already in Manchester and Newcastle. We have the tournament in Liverpool. We're using London, so we want to be everywhere. Now we're in Glasgow. I think it's really important. And the South Coast, we loved coming down there with Tony Oakey and back in the day at Portsmouth.
That takes me back.
Yeah, and we had some fantastic nights down there. And I think sometimes it's a forgotten area. Chris Billam-Smith obviously has put Bournemouth back on the map a bit.
Yeah.
And although we're not working directly with him, and he's a matchroom fighter, we'll look to take in those sort of areas. I think Ebony's an absolute star in the making. I think she's going to be really exciting. She's a real character, former Army girl, of course. And we'd love to come back and do some stuff in Portsmouth and Southampton, but all around the country and all around the UK. I think it's really important to bring boxing to the audiences. I think what to give Matchroom some more props. I think what they've done with the Premier League and the darts, and sort of going everywhere, and whether it's Brighton or it's to Dublin or it's to Rotterdam or it's to Glasgow, when they go everywhere, they give everybody one massive night out, and I think that's really good for the city. So we'll be looking to sort of really get around the areas, whether it's the main cities or a bit more rural, but we'd love to do that and sort of bring even sort of smaller shows to those parts, because it's, I think when the Sky cameras in town, people sort of sit up and take notice, and I certainly felt that on the Premier League, working on the Premier League darts, and we'd like to do that. I'm sure Ben's a Manchester guy, I'm a London guy, but we're definitely looking at venturing into sort of more different places.
Yeah. Well, Joe Bigford, his fans are absolutely mental. I don't know if you've seen any of the
I've seen a few
footage.
of them. I've seen a few of them, but it's
they wear pig outfits and stuff.
Absolutely, and I think it's about getting the right fights and the right sort of cards together. But I'll go back to Ben and we'll look into that.
Brilliant. I've got one final question, Adam. Kell Brook.
Yes.
I've always been a huge fan of him.
Yep.
I've always thought a few years back, I thought he could really go on and be a crazy big star, as you're agreeing there. Is he back?
Yeah.
Is he back? Well, what? Obviously, you'll be hoping to work with him again. What do you think? Kell's, a lot of people are saying he should retire. I certainly don't think so. What do you think?
First of all, it's up to Kell and Kell's family. That's the key. Just like it is with Amir, it's not up to us to tell them to retire. They're prize fighters, and this is what they do for a living. Seeing Amir afterwards and sitting next to him at the post-fight presser, I think he's had enough probably of it. I think he realises that he's not what he once was, and I hope that he takes his time with his beautiful children now and does other things, and he's got nothing left to prove to anyone. He's been incredible, and I've loved his thrilling career. As far as Kell goes, I've said it in another interview, he's got the angel on one side and the devil on the other. It's an old thing Nigel Benn used to say. And the angel is that you go out on top. It's a wonderful way to go. Look at how Lennox went. Look out where Joe Calzaghe went out. Look how our own Johnny Nelson and Carl Froch went out on the top. But it's always tempting to go on. Will he reach the heights of mental and physical preparation for anyone else other than Amir Khan? Look, there's big fights out there for him. There's Conor Benn. There's Chris Eubank Jr. if they get the weight right. There's possible another world title shot. I think that's up to Kell. I'd almost be happy in both ways. I'd love to see him fight on. I'd love to see in bigger fights, and I think he did roll back the years and he gave us a great performance. But there's a part of me as well that knows. I know Kell. I've known since he was a 10-year-old kid, and he's been haunted by Amir Khan for so long. But he'll be able to sleep peacefully at night. He's made a lot of money, and I don't know. It's up to him. Listen, if he wants to go on, we're right with him. We'd love to have him on Sky Sports, 2 or 3 more times, whatever he wants. But it's up to him. It's up to him, Terry, and the tight knit team, Dominic and Greg and everyone who've done such a fantastic job for this camp. If they can keep Kell as dedicated and as hungry and as mentally sharp, I think. Looking at him after the press conference on Saturday, there was the gleam and glisten in him again. There was something in his eye that made me think we'll be seeing him again. Yeah. So I guess he'll probably won't hang them up, but either way, I'll be immensely proud of whatever he does.